Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. You have made it to the last week before break. Congratulations. So I had the state CTC meeting last week, and they went over a really fantastic tool. Some of you may be familiar with, but I wanted to share it with those of you who maybe aren't familiar with it or have never used it before. It's going to be a fantastic resource to use with those kiddos who maybe haven't been picked up in Cambium yet, don't have that secure browser on their computer yet, who are struggling to get logged in during these practice tests that you're doing with them. But also, it's a really great teaching tool for you in the classroom. I'm really excited to share this with you. So, you're going to start out at this West Virginia Assessment Hub. Um, most of you should have this link, have it bookmarked, but I'm going to include it in the Monday message as well. But this is where all things testing in West Virginia live. So you're going to start here at this Welcome to the West Virginia Assessment Hub, and you're going to scroll down all the way to the bottom. And right here is where you want to be. So you have two options here. Take a practice test. That would be for our kiddos. Administer a practice test, which is a great option for you. So if you're going to administer a practice test, again, remember these aren't scored in any way. They aren't logged in any way. It's just a really great way for your kiddos to practice testing. But I'm going to start a new session, and let me get logged in. And I can choose any of these practice tests. I can choose ELA and math, science, and this is the ELPA 21. This is for our English language learners, which is fantastic. But you can see you're going to get a practice session ID here that starts with train, because it is a training session. This is also a really good way to familiarize yourself with giving the assessments. So let's say I want to do a math and I want to do a grade 3 math practice test. I can start my practice session, and right here, you're going to have this session ID number, train-91C8-3. Once a student logs in, you're going to see the approvals here. And this is great because it doesn't require the secure browser. You can work through it together as a class, even if they don't have the secure browser. So I am going to actually come out of here though, because this is what I'm most excited about, is showing you how the kiddos can navigate to here as well. So you can share this link out to our students and parents. And they can come here and they can take a practice test either with you or even without you on their own time. Because, our kids love taking practice tests on their own time. But I think this is a really great option for parents who might want to know a little bit more about the assessment as well. So you can come here to take a practice test. There are two options. You can go in as just a guest user. So I'm going to show you that option first. You can go in as just a guest user, and that requires no login information. They don't need a testing code. They don't need a WEVIS number. This would be a really great screen share option for you while you're doing practice within the classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in, and I can select my grade. So again, let's do a grade 3. I'm going to do a grade 3 math practice, okay? I'm going to leave these the same. You're going to have to do a playback check. And then you can begin your test. So this is going to be a great option to show you how to use these tools. So we have the dictionary. Let's see. Wonder if I can find it. If I don't know what it means to plot. Plot a verb. Look at that. Well, that's not quite what we are looking for. But they do have the option of using that to look up various words that maybe they're not familiar with. The global notes situation, where they're going to take notes to keep themselves on track. Other things will show up there if there's an option. But so you can see I can navigate through different problems, can show them how to utilize this handy little calculator. We can talk about how to use these drop downs. Okay. There's so many, so we can talk about, okay, multiple choice. Well, how do I handle that? So this is a fantastic choice for working through together how to navigate not just the content of the test, but the actual setup of the system. So let me just exit out of here. I'm just going to leave. And again, those aren't tracked or graded in any way, but they're a fantastic way for you guys to all walk through a test together without needing to log in, without needing that secure browser. Now, if you wanted to do a little bit more of an official practice test, remember I showed you how to set up your test, and it would have that train in the front. But now I want to actually log in. So here's where they're going to practice putting in their name and their student ID. So you could do just a guest session so they can practice putting in their name and their student ID. Co-teachers, SE teachers, this is a really great way to make sure your kiddos have their accommodations embedded as well. And then, but if I want them to do a specific one and practice putting in that session ID, you can see where it starts with train, and you would just give them the session ID that you have. So this is going to direct them to a specific practice test that maybe you want everybody to do. And then they would click sign in. So a couple different ways, remember, they can take it fully as a guest. That's on their own. You guys could go through this together in class. They can practice logging in with their first name and their student ID. That's going to ensure that they have those accommodations for our SE students. Or you guys could all work on practicing giving the session code, them logging in with the session code, but without having to deal with that secure browser that locks them out of everything else. So I'm really, really excited to share that tool with you guys. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Don't forget on Fridays at 2:30, I do hold testing office hours, and I would love to chat with you. But just an update as well. We are still working on getting all of those secure browsers pushed out. We are still working on getting all of the remote flags flipped, especially for our newer students. This is a really great way to be in the system, practicing using the tools, practicing being on the platform without having to deal with either of those things. So I appreciate you guys. I'm so thankful for such an amazing team. It's working so hard to get these kiddos ready. You make my job easy. Thank you. And I hope you guys have the happiest holidays and the best, most relaxing break ever.